Yo guys, Leon here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, basically I'm just going to be talking about kind of what's been happening the last week or so since the George Floyd death and kind of how it's like affected the online community, like obviously with like influencers and creators. Before this video starts, I just want to let you know there's a link in the description where you can go and donate to the People's Trust Fund for obviously the protesters and everything that's going on. If you wish to leave a donation, then obviously, yeah, links in the description. But we're going to start off with Jake Paul. Basically, what's happened with him is he's been charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly after allegedly participating in the looting of an Arizona mall. Let me give a little bit of a background just in case you don't understand what's going on, but obviously it's all over the news, so you probably know. But 4 police officers killed George Floyd, who was just a normal man. He was going about his day. He'd apparently forged a check and they killed him, like they nailed on his neck and cut off his airway and he died. It's fucking disgusting what they did to him. They shouldn't have done that. But this sort of thing always happens with the black community and it's fucking disgusting. People, especially authorities, treat black people differently than they treat everyone else, and I think it's just disgusting. Like I said, the amount of times I've went on Twitter and I've seen a different story of a different black person being pulled over by police just because they're black, and then the police will suspect them of something they're not even doing. But obviously it needs to come to an end, and I think this is kind of like the turning point. This is obviously the whole world's going in uproar, protests everywhere, all over the US. There's some in the UK, some in London, and it does need to change. We do need to change. Even during all the protests, the police are still being like this. There's been things of people, they've been arresting protesters, and there was one, I can't remember what state, but the police officer literally kneeled on another man's neck and said, he was saying, I can't breathe, and then he was saying, that shit doesn't work up here. Like,
I'm trying, I can't breathe. Shut up, asshole. I can't. You fucking stupid. Shut up. I can't. That shit don't work here.
Obviously, I can't speak from personal experience because I'm white, but I do see what goes on, and I don't turn a blind eye to it like people do. But it's a well-known fact that people treat black people differently, and I keep saying it's disgusting. It's the only word I can think of to describe how it makes me feel and like how obviously it is. But that's some kind of background into why the protests is going on. It was all because of not just George Floyd's case, but obviously different cases. There was a man called Adama Traore in France. Obviously he was killed by the police. There's been various different cases where it's happened, and it just needs to come to a stop. Obviously why the protests are going on now, people want change and we need to change. So obviously with all the protests going on, Jake Paul decides to go out and they go to a mall in Arizona, and there's been loads of videos. I'll put them on the screen now.
Hey, can I get a picture with you, bro? Oh my god! Oh my god, it's getting crazy.
Jake Paul says he and his team did not participate in looting and vandalism at an Arizona mall. Video of the YouTube star and his team members at the Scottsdale Fashion Square was posted to Instagram by Andrew Blue, who claims to be Logan's videographer. The video shows people breaking windows of the shopping center outside. It also shows what happened inside, including people smashing the windows of a display car and entering a Sephora through the broken glass door.
Hey yo, give me a free cologne.
I don't know why would he be there? Why is he there? Obviously, yeah, people's been going out protesting and stuff, but I do agree with the protesting, but I don't agree with the looting and the destruction. I'm trying to choose my words wisely because I don't want to, like, you know what I mean, cause anything. But I obviously, yeah, everything needs to change. We do need to change. I agree, but I don't think looting stores is like the way to go about it. But Jake Paul got charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly after allegedly participating in the looting of the mall. They say that can range from a couple of days to a couple of months in prison. Obviously, he could pay a fine. That's the other way about it. And in some states, they can get put into from up to a year, or just a bit longer than a year in prison. I don't think Jake Paul will go to prison without it though. I think they'll probably just fine him. But he has denied the claims of him or anyone in his group being involved in the looting, and he put a statement on Instagram and Twitter, which I'll put on the screen now. The police have received hundreds of tips apparently and shown evidence like videos of Jake being at the mall, and after the protest had been declared, he'd been seen in the mall. He's since donated £5,000 obviously to the people, which I've put the link in the description to the trust fund for the people protesting. But it would be Jake Paul, wouldn't it, to be in a mall at the wrong place, the wrong time. I don't know if there's any specific like evidence of him actually looting and smashing stuff, but it's Jake Paul. Yeah, at the end of the day. Logan Paul also on his podcast brought up some pretty good points about how we should be changing and what should be happening, and that he's not going to be uploading because he's going to be out protesting in LA. I think since the whole incident with Logan Paul, he's like clued up a bit more and he's changed. Logan's definitely changed. I enjoy Logan's content now, and he's changed, he's matured up, but Jake hasn't. Jake's always going to be the same. But that's enough from the Jake and Logan Paul. People need to change. We all need to change. The authorities need to change, the regime on how they do things. The police need to change, everyone needs to change. That's obviously why the protests are going on. So I agree with the protests, I do. But the looting and the destruction I don't agree with, but there needs to be change. That's basically it. I just kind of wanted to put my opinions forward and how I feel about the whole thing and how it's kind of affected like the online community and affected the creators and influencers on the internet. I love all people. I hope anything I said didn't offend anyone. We're all human, we're all the same, we have the same rights, but people and the authorities need to change. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment on how you feel about the whole thing, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching the video. LeonHere. See you later.